Well, hello, homeschoolers. So today we're going to talk about essay writing and why it is so important. Now, before you roll your eyes and sigh and remember your ninth grade English class when you had to write dreadfully dry and boring essays, let me tell you, essays can actually be a lot of fun. But aside from the fun that you can have writing them, and aside from the very true and very important fact that essay writing is now on the SAT, so if your kid wants to go to college, he needs to learn to write good essays. Aside from that fact, let me tell you why I think essay writing is an extremely important skill. An essay has to take a position, explain it, defend it, support the argument, and do it all in the minimal number of words possible. There's no room for rambling. There's no room for being unsure of really what position you're trying to take because you're sort of still thinking it out. An essay makes you choose and then back it up. Now, you don't even have to really believe what you're writing the essay about. In fact, a wonderful exercise for older students who have been writing essays for a while is to have them write an essay that argues a point that they don't personally agree with. Just like they do in debating, it's important to learn to clearly explain the other side of the argument. But that's not where you want to start. Essay writing should probably start in middle school, 6th grade, 7th grade. Certainly by 7th grade, they should try their hand at a 3-paragraph essay. And by 8th grade, a 5-paragraph essay is most certainly not out of reach. The important thing with an essay is not the words that get put on the paper. The important thing about an essay is the thought process that takes place before the essay itself is written. The logic that is required to write a strong essay, that's the piece that is such an important life skill. In addition to this being a wonderful skill that you can have in your writing toolbox, in addition to how it may help your SAT scores go up, there's the simple fact that having learned how to write good essays will have strengthened your critical thinking skills and your logic. And you will understand how important it is not just to say, well, this is what I believe, and I just believe it, so there. And to instead be able to explain why you believe it, what type of evidence you might be able to provide to persuade someone else to believe that way too, or at least intelligent questions that have to be considered if someone is going to take the other side of the argument. Now, here's a fun thing about starting essays in middle school. Middle schoolers are all about arguing. Honestly, so are high schoolers. So it works well all the way through graduation in my experience. But you're giving your students a chance as a part of their writing homework to argue with you. It's wonderful to give a student a topic like why I should be allowed to have a cell phone if he doesn't actually have a cell phone yet, or why I should have a curfew that's an hour later than the one that you've given me if she doesn't like her curfew time, or why I should be allowed to get another kitten when mom has said no more pets in this house. Let them pick a topic that is near and dear to their hearts. And if it's something that you have argued about orally in your house, why not let them apply their brains to the logic necessary to write a persuasive essay on the topic? When you're writing a compare and contrast essay, it's important to help them not just go with what their gut response is to something, but to truly weigh the strengths and weaknesses of the two items that are being compared and contrasted, or to help them see that there are actually pieces of these two things that can't fit together. You either have to choose one or the other because they're simply opposed to one another. All of these things are part of the logic that goes into writing an essay, but you know what? They're also a part of the logic that makes for wise adults. I've known a number of people well past high school graduation who would do really well to learn a little more about how to write a good essay. It would make their ability to have meetings with other people and reach decisions in a group, it would make that much stronger. So I would recommend essay writing starting at about 6th grade, 7th grade for sure. And I'd recommend getting some help if you're not sure how to go about essay writing. Shameless plug, SevenSistersHomeschool.com has a fantastic essay writing curriculum. It's a 10-week course, and it gives you great ideas for breaking down the process, understanding the logic behind it, and even gives you some really fun examples of possible thesis statements that your students might enjoy using at these younger ages. Essay writing. You gotta have it. We've been working on it in our homeschool. What are you working on?